I want to talk to you today about something that may surprise you. You're being talked about. Right now, in ways you can't even see, your name is coming up in conversations. God is putting your name in the hearts of the right people. Opportunities are being discussed, doors are being prepared, and favor is being arranged on your behalf. You may feel overlooked, you may think you're hidden, but you are not hidden from the God who sees everything. When you're faithful, when you keep doing the right thing even when nobody is giving you credit, God is not only watching, you're being positioned for promotion. Too often, we let discouragement settle in because we don't see immediate results. We wonder if what we're doing is even making a difference. But let me encourage you today, behind the scenes, conversations are taking place, recommendations are being made, and favor is lining up. You don't have to promote yourself. God knows how to get you to where you're supposed to be. You just stay faithful, stay obedient, keep honoring Him, and in His perfect timing, He will cause the right people to take notice. You're closer than you think to stepping into a new level of influence, new relationships, new opportunities, all because you're being talked about in the right rooms. Staying faithful in private leads to promotion in public. It's easy to be motivated when everyone is watching, when people are applauding and recognizing our efforts. But the real test of character is what we do when no one is looking. Are we still giving our best? Are we still honoring God when there's no spotlight, no audience, no instant reward? It's what you do in private that prepares you for what God wants to do in public. It's the private sacrifices, the private disciplines, the quiet faithfulness that God sees and rewards openly. David was anointed king as a teenager, but he didn't go straight to the throne. He went back to the shepherd's fields, taking care of sheep away from the public eye. Day after day, he protected those sheep, fought off lions and bears, learned leadership and built his confidence, not in a palace, but in the quiet hills where no one was watching. David wasn't chasing fame or recognition. He was being faithful in private, and when the time was right, God brought him before the nation. His private faithfulness prepared him for public favor. You may be in a season right now where it feels like no one sees your efforts. You're working hard, you're showing up, you're doing the right thing, but you're not getting any credit. Don't be discouraged. Those are the seasons when God is shaping you, strengthening you, building character in you. He's preparing you to carry the weight of the blessing that's coming. Private victories always come before public victories. If you'll stay faithful where you are, honoring God in the quiet places, He will honor you in front of others. Sometimes we think we have to be loud about what we're doing, that we have to advertise our goodness, promote our faithfulness, make sure everyone knows how hard we're working. But God says if you'll do it in secret, He will reward you openly. You don't have to force doors to open. You don't have to try to impress people. You just stay steady, stay consistent, stay faithful, and God will make sure the right people see you at the right time. Joseph didn't become the prime minister of Egypt because he schemed or manipulated his way to the top. He served faithfully in the prison. He interpreted dreams when there was nothing in it for him. He stayed faithful to God when it looked like nothing was changing. And in one moment, God turned it all around. His private loyalty positioned him for public promotion. The same is true for you. Your integrity, your quiet consistency, your devotion when it's hard, those are the things that God is using to set you up for the promotion you can't yet see when you stay faithful in the unseen seasons. You're building a foundation that no storm can shake. You're proving to God and to yourself that you're ready for greater influence, greater responsibility, greater blessing. Keep honoring Him where you are. Your private faithfulness is leading you into a future filled with public favor, divine connections, and blessings you didn't even ask for. You don't have to chase opportunities. Opportunities will find you. When you walk in obedience and stay in peace, you don't have to live striving, stressed out, or constantly trying to make things happen. When your heart is right and you're being faithful where God has placed you, opportunities will come knocking at your door. You won't have to manipulate situations, force connections, or exhaust yourself trying to open doors. God knows exactly where you are, and He knows exactly how to get you where you're supposed to be. Sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking we have to make everything happen on our own. We feel the pressure to build the right relationships, to be at the right places, to have all the right strategies. But the scripture says that promotion doesn't come from the east or the west. Promotion comes from the Lord. That means the right doors will open for you, not because you chased them down, but because you honored God and trusted Him to order your steps. He is your source, not people, not circumstances, not your own efforts. If you stay faithful, the right people will come looking for you. The right opportunities will find their way to you. Just like in the story of David, when Samuel came to anoint the next king, David wasn't even invited to the party. He was out in the fields, doing what he was supposed to do. He wasn't worried about who saw him or who overlooked him. He wasn't trying to get attention. He just kept tending his sheep, honoring God in the small things. And when it was time, Samuel said, "We will not sit down until David comes." They didn't start the ceremony without him. They didn't move forward until David was called into the room. That's what happens when you trust God with your future. You don't have to fight for a seat at the table. God will make sure the table waits for you. He will make sure the right people notice you at the right time. You don't have to knock down doors or force your way in. The right door will open for you at the right moment, and you'll walk through it with peace, with favor, and with confidence. Opportunities that are God ordained have a way of finding you even when it seems unlikely. It may not happen according to your timetable, but God is never late. He's never forgotten about you. While you're trusting Him, He's orchestrating things behind the scenes, aligning situations, softening hearts, preparing blessings that you don't even know about. You just keep being your best where you are. Keep serving, keep growing, keep showing up with a good attitude. There's no need to chase what God has already ordained for your life. There's no need to live stressed, anxious, worried that you're falling behind. You're not falling behind. You're right on schedule. God's favor will track you down. His goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. The blessings with your name on them are already in motion. Delay doesn't mean denial. It means preparation. When God puts a dream in your heart, when He gives you a promise, there's usually a waiting period before you see it come to pass. It's during that waiting season that many people get discouraged. They think because it's taking longer than they thought, because doors haven't opened yet, because the relationship hasn't happened yet, that maybe it's not meant to be. But the delay is not a sign that God has forgotten about you. The delay is a part of God's process. It's where He does His greatest work in you. It's in the waiting that your character is developed. It's in the delay that you learn to trust God on a deeper level. You learn perseverance, patience, and endurance. These qualities are preparing you for the weight of the blessing that's coming. Sometimes the blessing is ready, but we're not quite ready to handle it. If God gave it to us too soon, it could end up being a burden instead of a blessing. So out of His love for us, He uses seasons of delay to grow us, to strengthen us, and to prepare us. Think about Moses. God called him to deliver the Israelites, but he spent 40 years in the desert before he stepped into that calling. During those years, it could have seemed like nothing was happening, like he was wasting time. But in reality, God was preparing Moses. He was teaching him humility, patience, leadership. Moses wasn't wasting time in the desert. He was gaining the strength and the wisdom he would need to lead millions of people to freedom. The same is true for you. You're not wasting time. You're not forgotten. God is preparing you. Every day you stay faithful. Every time you choose to trust instead of doubt. Every time you refuse to get bitter, you are passing the test. You are proving to God that you can handle what He has in store. Don't mistake the delay for denial. Don't believe the lie that it's never going to happen. What God started in your life, He will finish. Delay builds spiritual muscle. Delay refines your vision. Delay teaches you to lean on God in ways you never would if everything happened instantly. The longer the delay, the bigger the blessing. The more you stay in faith during the waiting season, the stronger your foundation becomes. And when God opens the door, when He brings the opportunity, when He answers the prayer, you'll be ready. You'll have the maturity, the character, the endurance to not just receive the blessing, but to sustain it, to walk in it, to multiply it. Sometimes what looks like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. God is positioning you for the right time, the right opportunity, the right relationship. If you'll trust Him in the delay, if you'll keep praising Him even when you don't see the promise yet, you'll step into blessings that exceed your expectations. Critics and doubters are signs that you're on the verge of something greater. When you start stepping into the destiny God has for you, not everyone will celebrate you. Not everyone will understand the favor on your life. Some people will criticize, some will question your motives, some will try to discourage you. But here's the good news. Opposition is often confirmation. The enemy wouldn't be fighting you if you weren't making a difference. If you were going to stay where you are, if you weren't about to step into something bigger, He would leave you alone when people start talking, when critics start rising up, when negativity starts to come against you. That's not the time to shrink back. That's the time to dig your heels in and keep moving forward. That's the time to lift your head a little higher and remind yourself that God's approval is more important than people's approval. If you're going to fulfill your destiny, you have to get comfortable being misunderstood. You have to be okay with people not seeing what God has put inside you. They weren't there when God called you. They didn't hear the promises He whispered into your spirit. They don't know the dreams He planted in your heart. When Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, he faced all kinds of opposition. People mocked him, tried to distract him, tried to intimidate him. They said it would never happen. They tried to pull him off the wall with their criticism and negativity, but Nehemiah didn't stop. He didn't come down off the wall to answer his critics. He stayed focused on the work God had given him. He understood that the criticism was a sign he was doing something significant. The same principle applies to you. If you weren't making progress, nobody would be paying attention. If you weren't stepping into new levels of blessing and influence, the opposition wouldn't be showing up. The criticism, the rumors, the negativity, it's all a sign that you're on the right track. It's a sign that you're close to stepping into the greater things God has for you. Don't waste your time trying to convince people to like you or to understand you. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you. Some people, no matter what you say or do, will still find something to criticize. That's okay. You're not running your race for their approval. You're running it for an audience of one. God sees your heart. He knows your motives. He's the one who called you, equipped you, and anointed you. Stay focused on Him and let the critics talk. Let the doubters doubt. Their negativity cannot stop your destiny. Criticism is not a roadblock. It's a stepping stone. Every time you choose to bless instead of curse, every time you keep moving forward instead of getting distracted, you're building strength. You're rising higher. You're showing God that you're ready for the greater levels He has in store. God is fighting battles you can't see. Right now, behind the scenes, God is arranging things in your favor. He's lining up the right people, moving the wrong people out of the way, orchestrating solutions to problems you haven't even encountered yet. You may not see anything changing. You may not feel like you're gaining ground, but don't be fooled by what it looks like in the natural. God is always at work, and many times the greatest victories are being won in the unseen places. When the Israelites were trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea, from their perspective, it looked like defeat. It looked like the end, but what they couldn't see was that God was already working. He was already planning a miraculous parting of the waters. He was already preparing a way where there was no way. To them, it looked like they were trapped. To God, it was just another opportunity to show His power. What you're up against may look bigger, stronger, more powerful than you, but it's no match for our God. Sometimes the reason we don't see immediate results is because God is doing a deeper work. He's not just changing circumstances, He's changing you. He's building your faith, stretching your spiritual muscles, preparing you for the greater blessings ahead. If He made it easy, if everything happened instantly, you wouldn't develop the strength you're going to need for the next level. God knows what He's doing. Trust that even in the waiting, even in the uncertainty, even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is fighting for you. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to have all the answers. Your job is to believe. Your job is to stay in faith, to stay in peace, and to keep moving forward. God says in Exodus that He will fight for you. You need only to be still. That means you don't have to strive. You don't have to live stressed, trying to force things to happen. Just rest in His promises. Stay faithful. Keep doing the right thing even when it's hard. Your trust is what activates God's power in your life. There are battles right now that you don't even know about that God has already won for you. He's protecting you from things that could have set you back. He's pushing away opposition that could have derailed your destiny. He's setting up divine connections, opportunities, favor, and provision that you haven't even imagined yet. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because it feels quiet doesn't mean God is inactive. He's a God who works behind the scenes, and when the time is right, He's going to show you what He's been doing all along. When you look back, you'll see that the times you thought God was silent, He was actually working the most. The times you thought you were stuck, He was actually setting you up for a breakthrough. The battles you didn't even know existed will turn into testimonies of God's goodness, His faithfulness, and His unstoppable favor in your life, friends. I want to remind you today, you are not walking this journey alone. God is right there with you, and He's not just casually observing, He's actively involved, fighting your battles, arranging your breakthroughs, lining up your opportunities. People may be talking about you, critics may be whispering, opposition may be rising up, but it's all part of the process. It's a sign you're stepping into greater influence, greater favor, greater purpose. Don't get discouraged because of the delay. Don't give up because you don't see anything changing yet. Delay is not denial, it's preparation. God is strengthening you, building your faith, getting you ready for the new levels He's about to take you to. What you thought was a setback is really a setup. What you thought was a detour is really the direct route to your destiny. Trust that He's working, even when you can't see it. Trust that He's moving the wrong people out of the way and bringing the right people into your life. You don't have to chase opportunities. You don't have to strive for approval. You don't have to defend yourself against critics. Stay faithful. Stay positive. Keep a smile on your face and hope in your heart. God's favor on your life will do what your striving never could. His anointing will open doors you never dreamed would open. His blessing will cause you to stand out, to rise higher, to accomplish what you could never accomplish on your own. You may feel hidden right now. You may feel overlooked, but just like David out in the fields, tending sheep, God knows exactly where you are. And at the right time, He's going to call your name. At the right time, He's going to launch you into the fullness of your destiny. You're closer than you think. The people talking about you can't stop what God has ordained. The critics, the delays, the obstacles, they are all powerless against the favor of God on your life. Stay in peace. Keep believing. Keep honoring God with your thoughts, with your words, with your attitude. Your time is coming. Your breakthrough is on the way. Your crown of favor is already prepared. God is not just going to meet your expectations, He's going to exceed them. Keep standing strong, because your best days of influence, your best days of favor, your best days of blessing are still out in front of you.